Hello everyone. Myself Sujayshankar Biswas. So I am today going to present a topic cybersecurity and its use cases in the modern world. So it's an over. I will first give an overview agenda of today's session. The things which are going to be covered in this session are like what is cybersecurity, its types, use cases, benefits, application, some uh, attacks, common attacks of cyber like which is currently prevailing, and also how to stay safe in times of these cyber attacks. Also last is like applications and benefits of cyber security. So let's start this session. uh, So, as first coming to the introduction part, so basically, cybersecurity is the practice of protecting system, networks, and programs from digital attacks. So it's like you can assume a way to securely operate any type of mobile network, electronic systems, and also confidential data, and protect them from thefts and also data breaches. So common cyber attacks are usually aimed to access, change, or destroy sensitive information, extorting money from users, or interrupting normal business processes. Also, implementing effective cybersecurity measures is particularly challenging today, since the number of devices are more than the people, and also attackers are finding every new way strategies to steal information and data. So now the types of cybersecurity, it's broadly divided into six types. The first is network security, next is application security, third is information security, fourth is operational security, fifth is disaster recovery and business continuity, and sixth is end user education. So now moving on to the next slide. So what is network security? So network security is generally the practice of securing a computer network type from intruders means any outsider networks. They can be either targeting attackers or any type with malware soft which can crash the system. Next is operational security. So operational security, it includes the processes and decisions for handling and protecting data assets, the permission users have when accessing a network, and the procedure that determine when and how the data is stored and shared, all fall under this category. So for operational security, I will give you an example, as in when you are entering a security closed area with any ID access card, so that where some secret research is going on, so that you need always permission from inside to let you in. So for that, suppose there the security is very much high, so that's type of operational security. Now coming to information security. So information security, it protects both the integrity and privacy of data, both in storage and in transit. Next is application security. So here application security, it focuses on keeping software and devices free of threats. Compromising application is generally the gateway to access confidential data. Successful security begins in the design stage well before a program is device is well deployed. So moving on to the next slide. So now I will be talking about another two uses in types of cybersecurity, broadly domain, which is disaster recovery and business continuity, and another is end user education. So this disaster recovery and business continuity, it defines how an organization responds to a cybersecurity incident or any other event that causes the loss of operations or data. Disaster recovery policies dictates how the organization restores its operations and information to return to the same operating capacity as and before the event. Also, business continuity is the plan the organization falls back on while trying to operate without certain resources. So, this type of thing generally happens in emergency type situations where there like the lacking resources is there to prevent data stealing. So that's the type of disaster recovery. And last is end user education. So end user education, what it happens is that it addresses the most unpredictable cybersecurity factor people. Anyone can accidentally introduce a virus to an otherwise secure system while falling to the good security practices. So like anyone can fall trap to it. For example, if you're searching on any mail, suppose a mail comes up with a like luring type of offer, say suppose any type of network is giving you free data suppose, and user without knowing just clicks on the link. So what it does is that it can like install a harmful virus in your software when you're clicking on the link. So when you restart the system, you see that your system gets crashed, or either some a message comes where you will be asking prompting to like you need to give this amount of money, only then you will be allowed to restore your files and data. So that type of things generally happen. It's type of clickbait trap. Okay. Now the thing is that for these teaching users to delete suspicious email attachment, as I told, also not plugging in unidentified USB drives and various other important lessons. So unidentified user USB drive means that suppose you are carrying any pen drive which is like not you have never used in your laptop. So it may be any friend's pen drive, or it can be pen drive you have obtained from any like any type of place. So when you are installing it for the like you are inserting it for the first time in your drive, so you don't know that what's there in the pen drive. So it might be designed that once you install it, you inside it, the system might all the data it can be captured in the pen drive, all the sensitive information. So that's also another thing that you should not plug in any unidentified USB drives in your system. Also, so these are vital things that one needs to keep in mind for security of any type of any organization. Okay. Now scale of cyber threat. So this is actually a case study a type of thing, so which I will be explaining to you, like what is the thing and like how the cyber threat is right now scope like um, viewed in today's world. So according to the reports, the global cyber threat continues to evolve at a rapid pace with rising number of data breaches every year. So according to the latest reports by risk-based security, it is revealed that a shocking of 7.9 billion records have been exposed by data breaches in the first 9 months of 2019 to 2021 alone. So this figure is more than double, 112%, and the number of records exposed are in same period in 2018. Now coming to medical services, retailers, public entities experiences the most breaches with malicious criminals responsible for most incidents. Some of these sectors are more appealing to cyber criminals because they collect financial and medical database records. But all businesses that use network can be targeted for customer data, corporate espionage, and also sensitive customer attacks. With the scale of cyber threats set to continue to rise, the intern period of data corporation predicts that the worldwide spending on cybersecurity solutions will reach massive 133.7 billion dollars by 2022 end. Okay. So this is the very like huge amount. So it needs to be checked, and the government across the globe have responded to the massive cyber threat with guidance to help organizations implementing effective cybersecurity solution practices. So in this context, US National Institute of Standards Technology, NIST, has created cybersecurity framework guidelines to combat this proliferation of malicious code and aid in today's error detection and also fraud detection. The framework recommends continuous real-time monitoring of all electronic resources. The importance of system monitoring is echoed in the 10 steps to cybersecurity guidance provided by UK government's National Security Center. So in Australia, Australian Cybersecurity Center (ACSC) regularly publishes guidelines on how organizers can counter the latest cybersecurity threats. So these are the like strategies which worldwide governments are taking undertaking to reduce these things and prepare a combat team to counter any type of cyber war. Okay. Now moving on to the next slide. So types of cyber threats. So actually they are classified into generally three categories. Okay, it's a threefold system. So first is cyber crime. So this thing, what is next, cyber crime, what is thing, it includes that, it includes single actors like any individual entity or groups targeting system for financial gain. So they generally attack any type of small scale businesses for financial gain, to like gain some money, also to cause disruption, to like to stop the services for a certain time, so that will cause loss to the organization. Okay, so this type of thing, it comes under cyber crime. um, Next is cyber attack. So cyber attacks is that it often involves politically motivated information gathering. So what it happens here is that it generally does not do like any type of like attacks generally, but it captures and stains and leaks and sells information, private information to outsiders. Okay, so that's the thing. And the last is cyber terrorism. So this cyber terrorism, what is happens, as you can understand from the name, that it's included to undermine electronic systems, to cause panic or also fear. Like suppose one day, like suppose you, for example, in any type of organization, suppose any type of mail comes that the systems gets crashed and you can't able to open it. Okay, so they might send a type of that currency. Okay, so you need to pay this, otherwise all your data will be crashed. So this type of mail, so that's also part of cyber terrorism. So malware. So coming to malware, what is malware? So malware means malicious type of softwares. So one of the most common cyber threats, malware, is software that a cyber criminal or a hacker has created to disrupt and damage a legitimate user's computer. Often spread via a solicited email attachment or legitimate looking download. Malware may be used by cyber criminals to make money or in politically motivated cyber attacks. uh, Now types of malware. So types of malware are 6 to 7 types. So first is virus, next is trojans, next is adware, next is spyware, and last is ransomware. So virus, what is virus? So virus is a self-replicating program that attaches itself to clean file and spreads throughout a computer system, infecting files with malicious code. Now coming to Trojan. So what is Trojan? So Trojan also is a type of malware that is disguised as a legitimate software. Cyber criminals trick users into uploading Trojans onto their computer, where they can cause damage or as well as to collect data. Next, coming to adware. So adware is type of advertising software which can be used to spread malware. Botnets, the networks of malware infected computers which cyber criminals use to perform tasks online without the user's permission. Spyware. What is a spyware? A spyware is a general type of program that secretly records what a user does, so that cyber criminals can make use of this information. For example, spyware could capture credit card details. Next is ransomware. So ransomware, generally malware which locks down a user file and data with the threat of erasing it unless a ransom is paid. So I am in this, like suppose take example of spyware. So you go on to any website to pay to check out details. Now you by mistakenly you are visiting a website which has a long domain name. Like you are fooled, actually you don't know that's not the correct domain name. So there you proceed to the checkout thing, and while entering the checkout and also OTP everything comes, but in the end you find that sorry, payment is failed. Okay, but the thing is that what happens in the back end is that all your credit card information, all the things, it goes to the user, like it goes to the like back end server, and those who is running that program application at that time, he gets copy and access of all the vital information, and they can use your credit card number, also the CVV thing for other type of activities. And so that's a like loss of assets. Okay, now coming to virus trojans example. So it's as I told earlier, like virus trojans generally come from downloading softwares into the system. You can install any game online. Okay, online games you can, what we are trying to install, generally some type of extra files comes into your into your hard drive. Okay, so that file generally does not are useless files. Okay, but what the thing is that if you keep those files, they generally track your data and also consumes like huge memory also, um, which are also like harmful for your system because the system is not able to run properly. And also sometimes what it does is that the virus thing it like when you install the gaming software, suppose that code gets like replicating. Okay, and when you try to play in the game, suppose error happens, but the thing is that in the backend none of your things are working. So that's the thing. Trojans also like similar to virus. And adware, as I already told, that advertising type of software, um, which is also like part of malware and botnets. So this is generally used in example is that suppose you are using the public wi-fi. Okay, so they are also, suppose let forget public wi-fi, you can take here um, you can take here any any computer. Okay, now the way you are accessing connecting to the internet, so that network, suppose you have like you have leaked like password and that thing to maybe some like person and in your not when you're not available, so that person may like come online and do any stuffs on your system. Okay, now, coming to SQL injection type of attack. So, what is SQL injection type of attack? So, SQL is generally a structure query language injection. It's a type of cyber attack which is used to take control of and steal data from a database. So, cyber criminals exploit vulnerabilities in data-driven applications to insert malicious code into a database via malicious SQL statement. Okay, so this gives them access to the sensitive information content in the database. So coming to the next type of attack, it's very common, and you like those who are watching the session, they may have heard of it. Okay, so this is phishing. So phishing is when cyber criminals target victims with emails that appear to be from a legitimate company asking for sensitive information. Phishing attacks are often used to dupe people into handling over credit data, credit card data, and other personal information. Man in the middle attack. So, a man in the middle attack is a type of cyber threat where a cyber criminal intercepts communication between two individuals in order to steal data. For example, on an unsecure Wi Fi network, an attacker could intercept data being passed from the victim's device and the network. So moving on to the next slide. So denial of cyber service attack. So it's also another type of attack. DOS attack generally is where cyber criminals prevent a computer system from fulfilling legitimate requests by overwhelming the networks and servers with traffic. So these situations generally arise when the website faces a lot of traffic requests from many users, and it ultimately crashes, and none of the users are able to access the website. Okay, so this type of attack generally known as DOS attack. So this renders the system unusable, preventing an organization from carrying out any vital functions. Okay, now coming to latest cyber threats which are currently like happening in the like modern world. Okay, so I don't know how many of you heard of this thing, Redex malware. So it's a latest type of malware. It's generally it was discovered in 2019. Okay, and it was found out by U.S. Department of Justice. So what is this malware thing? So it was generally a leader of cyber organized cyber criminal group for their part in a global Dredex malware attack. This malicious campaign affected the public, government, infrastructure, and business worldwide. Redex is a financial Trojan with a range of capabilities affecting victims since 2014. It infects computers through phishing mails or existing malware, capable of stealing password, banking details, and personal data, which can be used to fraudulent transactions. It has caused massive financial losses amounting to hundreds of millions. In response to Redex attack, UK's National Cybersecurity Center advises the public to ensure devices are patched, antivirus is turned on, and it is up to date, and files are backed up. So it has caused like huge losses to the US government in from period from 2019. So after that it was found out, and right now the it has been fixed. Okay. Now next is romance scam. So this type of scam came to like picture in February 2020 when FBI warned US citizens to be aware of confidence fraud that cyber criminals commit using dating sites, chat rooms, and apps. So perpetrators take advantage of people seeking new partners, duping victims into giving away personal data. FBI reports that romance cyber threats affected 114 victims in New York, Mexico in 2019, with financial losses amounting to 1.6 million. So this type of thing generally users may have experience when they have used any type of dating apps, like any type of dating app you can consider. So they are with the new user, the other person who pretends to be that person, who comes and tries to take out confidential information and generally sells data. Also they can blackmail, and also they can do any type of other stuff which are harmful. Okay, so this type of thing, it came out in February 2020. So right now it's under like work also, like under fixing. Next is emoted malware. So in late 2019, the Australian Cybersecurity Center has warned national organizations about a widespread global cyber threat from emoted malware. So as you know, like as per the name, emoted is a sophisticated Trojan that can steal data and also load other malwares into it. So emoted thrives on unsophisticated password, a reminder of the importance of creating a secure password to guard against cyber threats. So it's also a type of replicating thing that from one malware and other two three things come into a system. It generally crashes your system or asks for that uh, ransomware. Okay, so that type of thing is emoted malware. Now I will be discussing about end user protection. That uh, in respect of these attacks. So end user protection or endpoint security is a crucial aspect of cyber security. After all, it is often an individual end user who accidentally uploads malware or another form of cyber threat to a desktop, laptop, or mobile device. First, cybersecurity relies on cryptographic protocols to encrypt mails, files, and other critical data. This is not only protects the information in transit but also guards against loss or theft. In addition, end user security software scans computers for pieces of malicious code, quarantines this code, and then removes it from the machine. Security programs can even detect and remove malicious code hidden in primary boot record, uh, and also are designed to encrypt or wipe out data from computers' hard drive. Electronic security protocols also focus on real-time malware detection. Many use heuristic and behavioral analysis to monitor the behavior of a program and is code to defend against viruses or trojans that change their shape with each execution. Polymorphic and metamorphic malware. Security programs can also confine potentially malicious programs, a virtual bubble separate from users' network, to analyze their behavior and learn how to better detect new infections. So it generally, if I talk about the overview of this thing, so it's like it tries to like inform users and prevents them for doing any type of wrong thing, and also uh, it works on certain cryptographic protocols which encrypts files, mails, and other critical data from exposing. Okay, so it also guards against loss or theft. In addition, security software scanning computer to use the malicious code. It also quarantines some like certain type of code, and also it removes it from the machine. Security programs can even detect, like there is some application here. uh, application means a type of antivirus type of thing stored. So what it does is that mm, it can like easily detect the virus and hidden in like boot record system, master boot record. And and what is that it does is that it encrypts the data, uh, like it after detection it deletes the data from the computer's hard drive. Also, electronic security protocols also focus on real-time malware detection. Many use heuristic and behavioral analysis to monitor the behavior of a program. Its code to defend viruses or trojans that change the shape with each execution. Polymorphic, metamorphic malware. Security programs can also confine potentially malicious programs to a virtual bubble separating from a user's network to analyze their behavior and learn how to better detect new infections. So also it learns by identifying new type of systems, like new type of attacks which are coming into the system. They also try to block those things from affecting the device. Okay, now I will be sharing about some cyber safety tips for all people. So it will generally help you to stay safe in today's cyber world. So generally there are 6 steps only. So first is that you should regularly update your software and operating system in your like laptop, also phone, computer, all the things. This means that a more updated version of software will prevent you from like any type of potential attacks which were present in previous version. Okay, so that's the first advantage. Second is that you are also getting benefit from the latest security patches. Next is using antivirus software. So as I already explained in the last slide, that you can use always use antivirus software in your system. It adds an added security advantage. Security solutions like Kaspersky Total Security also is there, which type of antivirus program which will detect and remove threats from your system. Also, it keeps your software updated for base level of protection. Next is that always try to use strong passwords using combinations. Never use any type of easy password which are difficult to guess. And so like strong password, it can be any type of passphrase or any type of thing which generally is not known to anyone. Okay, so that type of thing you can use, and it's not, you will be almost safe. Next is do not open email attachment from unknown senders. So as I have explained in 2 3 slides before that, never, like always check the domain of the email before anything opening anything. So if you find anything suspicious in the domain name, so it will be advised that not use open that mail only. Okay, so if you open that link, it could be a clickbait thing, phishing trap, anything. Like suppose you are, I am taking you an example. Let's now common example. Suppose you get mail that some program is going on, do register for free. Okay, so by this free thing you get lured, and people, suppose if they register for any program, now they generally don't see the domain name. Now what they asks in registration is their mail id, okay, name, etc. So mail id, when you're typing a mail id, it's already getting exposed to the system, right? So that type of thing. And also another type of thing is that suppose you get any like mail where it asks for you, like gives an offer, like say 20% discount, 30% discount, or say maybe some buy one get one thing, or maybe some free data packs only need to share to 5 people, 10 people, you get 100 GB of data free. So these things also are very type of clickbait type of things, and they are generally come in mails. So this, any type information on them generally does not activate, and what it does is that it just stores your data and uses for other type of purposes which you don't come to know. Okay, also same number 5 is that do not click on links in mails from unknown senders or unfamiliar website. So as I was telling that when you are browsing website for any type of payment gateway, always do check the url name, everything in that website. And also sometimes what it happens is that you will find the names are correctly written, but the domain thing, there will be some spelling mistake. Okay, some .gov.in, it can be g will be capital. Okay, so these type of things generally happens, and the thing why this happens is that these type of hackers, they don't get access to the original domain, because a domain it can be only unique. Okay, so they generally have to prepare different type of websites, and so there usually it gets understood that these type of fake websites. Okay, now number six is that avoiding mm, using unsecure Wi-Fi networks in public spaces. So it's generally a trend that it's advisable whenever use free Wi-Fi in open cafeteria, because generally what will happens is that you do any type of transaction, any type of confidential data research, the all the things it can be access to the cafe owner. He can misuse your data also. So that's the thing. And also unsecure networks leaves you vulnerable to man-in-middle attacks. So this also another type of thing you can stay safe from. So now I will be exploring about some cybersecurity challenges. So these are generally the challenges which are facing in today's world, like current scenario. So it's 12 type of main threats which are cybersecurity is still not able to solve, but hope that this will be reduced in upcoming times. So first is that increased unlawful use of networks. So many unidentified networks. These type of things have increased in today's world. The next is that increasing attacks on mobile devices and IoT devices. um, so mobile devices, as you know, that any type of smartphone, so that if you install any type of any app, so in background two three more apps come with that app. Okay, so you don't know that the apps are also running in background. Only when you check the system preferences and you go to the settings, you can get to know that these type of apps are also running. So these are that's not useful. Only it captures your data, your contacts, your messages, read it. If you give permission, you have to give permission access to all the things, because they also ask that do you want to sync your contacts, do you want to allow apps to read data privacy. So all the things they are getting to know, even your bank's OTP, like when you're doing any payments, that OTP also gets captured. Okay, so that's the thing. Now these type of apps are generally like not at all recommended. So IoT devices, actually, see, IoT devices is generally new in the context, but also these type of attacks are also happening on IoT devices. Next is manipulating artificial intelligence systems or bypassing machine learning implementations. So this is also new type of trend which has come, that AI systems generally it's used in scanning type of things, or also to accessing entry to certain type of users for any specific confidential place. So what they are trying to do is that digital signature thing, or that face recognition maybe, or fingerprint sensor, they are trying to hack it. Hacking means in the sense they are trying to get a duplicate fingerprint of any specific user, and that like some have breached and some has able to like still secure it. Okay, so that's the thing, AI systems is still lacking. Next is that use of advanced AI by hackers. So advanced AI means that, as I told in a previous point, so these are the type of advanced techniques, that whatever new type of methods are coming, hackers are trying to find a different way to breach into the system. So that's the thing. So point number five is that an increase in ransomware and spyware in the market. So spyware, as I told, it's used for stealing credit card information, and ransomware is that like demanding ransom to allow access to any files or data. So these type of things have increased in today's market. Number six is that not enough research is being conducted on lesser known threats and emerging threats. So number six is the lack of enough, not any research is right now going on as such to detect on this less known type of threats. So that is also a type of challenging thing. Number seven is spear phishing and spear phishing. So as I have already told, phishing is an attempt to steal any type of credential info, any type of password thing, and breaching. And spear phishing is actually a type of luring thing, means that if you are doing shopping on any site, suppose say Amazon, and you get any offer. Okay, but you didn't do any shopping. On mail, you see domain Amazon.com. It asks that you are getting this discount for this specific day. So if you click on that, it's generally type of phishing site. They take your details and they don't do anything. They just like sell your data. Okay. So this is also a type of alarming thing, spear phishing. Number eight is lack of education regarding cybersecurity and protecting devices. So here is lot of education among people that they don't know that these type of things are happening in world. So most people generally fall traps to this type of attacks. So generally, you may get any phone call aiming to a so-so person, and they generally give out certain information which they should not used to give. And what can happen after that is that a huge amount of transaction money can be debited from account just only by getting certain information from that user. Okay, so that's also a type of alarming thing. Number nine is that hacktivism and cyber terrorism are going extensively. I have already talked about cyber terrorism in the like initial slides. So cyber terrorism is a type of a group organization which is most is which is aim is just to like um, prevent like stop any system from working for a certain amount of time and making loss, financial loss. Okay, and also other type of trade activities. So that type of cyber terrorism and hacktivism is a group of organization which sometimes does good for the people, sometimes it works independently. So these type of things are organizations are going extensively today's world. And number 10 is that drone jacking and other modern methods. So also like drones which is used to capture sensitive information. So those can be drones. It can be hacked or like to steal certain images which and those images are sold. Okay, so there's type of things, modern things. And 11 is point number 11 is advanced social engineering. So social engineering type of attacks also happening nowadays, so which generally users are not aware of. And number 12 is that multiple vendors, partners, and employees have access to systems and data, as increasing the number of sources and vectors. So here, generally for any organization, suppose employees like they unknowingly like tells confidential information to outsiders. So just they can fall trap to it also. So they get access to system data, also increasing the like number of outsiders into the network, and it harms the organization. So this type of main 12 type of challenges the cybersecurity still has. Now I will be talking about the benefits so far, like from cybersecurity strategies. So there are only 14 benefits uh, which have been which we are seeing today, like till now. Though, so number one is that protection against worm, malware, viruses, and other infectious programs. Number two is the data protection and prevention of information leaks. Number three is that protection against hackers. Number four is that users advanced AI by hackers. Number five is that user, customer, and employee protection. Number six is that protection of systems, hardware, and computers from damage. So number seven is then privacy and integrity. Number eight is prevention of unauthorized access or unauthenticated users. Number nine is the business continuity management and faster disaster or breach recovery. Number 10 is information security and stakeholder trust. Number 11, reputation with customers and better business credentials. Number 12 is the protection of digital assets and business in general. Number 13 is protection of software, website, or IT infrastructure. Number 14 is holistic solution for a diverse set of issues. So these are the mainly 14 type of benefits which we have seen till now. So the work is still going on to improve these benefits and also making the system more safe. And so that's the thing. Now coming to the last agenda of today's session, which is applications of cybersecurity. So generally, like from cybersecurity thing, we are able to broadly classify it into 10 type of domains. so which are useful. So first is access control. So in this application, authentication, authorization, and monitoring and focused upon here. Professionals must use cybersecurity methodologies and frameworks to limit users and assign roles. Also, suspicious activities must be tracked and monitored extensively in order to stop unauthorized access or activities. So, this access control thing, as I told earlier, also is giving access specific to a specific user for a specific type of work. So, this thing has improved nowadays. Next is the telecommunication and network security. Information and communication confidentially are protected. The main protection of this focus of this application is to protect data and to ensure the flowing availability of data. Networks are secured and reinforced, and it is ensured that communications are not compromised. So nowadays the communication and security has improved from earlier days. Nowadays, the main thing which telecommunication companies are trying to achieve is to ensure data protection and ensure that that the system downtime, if any type of attacks are happening, that gets minimized. Also, the networks are getting secured and reinforced. At the same time, it's certain type of activities and checks are monitored and run every month to ensure that telecommunication companies are not compromised to the danger. Okay, now next point is that information security governance and risk management. This type of application security goals, mm, with risk management, security governance, data integrity, security education, and risk analysis. Risk management has a lot to do with risk assessment and control of the damage that can be caused by these risks. Information security also deals with the integrity of sensitive information. So as we all know, the government has undertaken many schemes to improve the information security, and also there are many sites also where you can report cyber attacks, which or any type of frauds or phishing, which you can come across, and government of India takes undertakes all those actions very seriously, and they gets also fixed also. Okay, so this sector also this has been improved. Next is software development security. So another vital field is security software applications. And so when users are making any type of software thing, so similarly security is a vital factor. So that security thing has improved in today's softwares, new applications. Identification of software defects during development and ensuring that policies are addressed regularly. Requirements are maintained in this application. The software is heavily tested, scanned, and analyzed to find out all the flaws, loopholes, or vulnerabilities that can be taken advantage of by hackers or rival companies. Suppose, for example, you have a similar type of application. So many type of software which it does work for which the main task is to provide free cabs. Okay, so example like Uber and Ola, so these are rival companies, right? So generally Uber has some specific type of feature in it, and Ola has some specific type of features in it. Now these rival companies generally what they try to do is that they try to implement that other companies feature into their app or also improve it. So both the things needs to be secured from the client's perspective point of view. So there, the software development security comes into work. Now, next thing is that cryptography thing. So cryptography is actually encryption of sensitive information and decryption of this information for authorized people. Cryptography ensures that only the users who were meant to access certain data can get to see it. This also helps in reducing data leaks or breaches. Okay. Now next is operation security. So operation security is prevention of intrusion and detection of intruders. This involves penetration testing, violation analysis, system backups, employee background checks, and vulnerability scanning. Next is security architecture and design, authorizing integration services and protocols inside the infrastructure. This application also deals with finding vulnerabilities in the current architecture and designing better IT infrastructures. It is very important to protect the security architecture as a weaker defense can easily be penetrated. So this cryptography thing, it's not like many people may know, may not know. So it's coming into like a new type of application, and the operation security is already in place. And this architecture and design of security nowadays that has been improved also, like implementing layers of security, like say two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication. These type of things are making the applications more secure. So even I can take an example and explain you. Suppose you're opening any Gmail. So by chance your Gmail ID password get exposed, but you have two-factor authentication enabled. So the Gmail account won't get that exposed, okay? Because user won't be able to log into your account unless because of two-factor authentication and a prompt up message will come up on your phone. It will ask you that whether it's you who is trying to log in really. So if it is not you, but still the message comes in your phone only, it does not come in the user's phone. So they are on this type of example where you can make sure that your security application is strengthened, okay? Next is business continuity and disaster recovery planning. So recovery of data in case of data loss, attacks, or disaster, so that businesses can keep operating. This application provides models or strategies that can help companies cope with extreme data loss by frequently backing up data and investing in a system that will allow businesses operations to keep running. So generally, this type of thing happens in case of data losses, attacks, or disaster, but small scale industries generally face these type of things. The application what it provides is that it provides strategies or models that can help companies to prevent this data loss by frequently backing up important data, confidential data, in clouds, and also investing in a system that will allow business operations to keep running in a like much safer way. Now, next is legal regulations, investigations, and compliance. So, investigation of suspicious events and legal protocols, regulation, maintenance, and compliance. And last point is physical environment security. So, security protocols such as system locks, intruder detection systems, alarm surveillance system, and data destruction systems for worst case scenarios. So, this is I have come to the end of the case study. So that's it from my end. So any questions or anything? Hello. So if anyone has any questions, they can ask, or they can also contact me. Okay, they can contact me on LinkedIn. My name is Sujayshankar Biswas, so they can easily find it. Okay.